Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Only Leeds Bros and Imagine Not Being Leeds for the final point. I think it's more than a couple of points we need tonight, lads. And if anyone was over on Just Joe's final word, that was tasty. I didn't want that to end whatsoever. What a brilliant show. Joe, you always puts on a show, him and Jared, don't they? Absolutely fantastic. Matty, we'll throw it to you first. Obviously, we talked in the build-up. You were saying you were confident. We thought we'd smash them out of the park. What went wrong? Tell us what went wrong.
I have egg all over my face. What a tool. I went with my heart and not my head, you know.
It happens.
Everything everybody was saying, you know, it will likely it could happen. Millwall away, and I'm there saying we'll have a comfortable 2-0. But in back of my head, it was always there. But like I say, I'll do this a lot this season. I'll get a lot wrong because I just go with my heart. And even though logic's telling me one thing, I just can't do it. And I know, like Dillo, you said we could lose, you know, definitely draw, and you still won't tip it. I can't even speak those words, let alone give it, you know. So for me, I went all in, and I went in hard, didn't I? With that way,
you did.
You did. And, you know, I'm feeling a bit better now after speaking on there and stuff, and than I were before. But yeah, it's more. I'm more annoyed not at the game itself. I'm more annoyed of obviously what's happened with the fan base. And I mean, I don't know if it's 10% at fan base. When you look online, it seems like it's 50% at online fan base is sort of negative. But I think in reality, it's not. But yeah, I've been more worked up today. I mean, I don't know if you saw my review today. That were quite heated, speaking to a camera on the top as well. But just more.
Yeah, right. It was a hard day in work, was it?
Yeah, well, mate, it looked like I was struggling, wasn't it? But honestly, today I was so annoyed, and yeah, more with reaction at fan base. The game we'll go into, but yeah, I think
I loved the Matty, to be honest with you. Do you know what really made it for me, man? It was the highways, to be honest with you.
they're splicing fibers in a car park, man. I thought, it's in me. I've got to speak to someone. So I just started waffling on there. And, yeah.
I loved it. Like, this man is on a rant.
I'm real, mate. You know me. I am real. I am real.
I know. I love it.
Big up, Evie. Thanks for popping in.
Oh, Evie, how's things? Yeah, it was brilliant. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Right.
So look,
hope everyone
obviously
has a drink anyway.
everyone better have a drink. Right?
No point in watching this if you haven't got a drink.
It's needed though, lads, isn't it? Big time. Look, obviously we'll delve a little bit more deeper. Probably not as deep as the Just Joe show, because they're saying we don't falling away between us, lads. We'll just laugh it up. But anyway, yeah, look, there's only one thing I want to say, Mate. I told you so.
Don't you dare, lad.
Do you know what?
We just need to shave our heads and we'd be like Jerry and Joe. What does someone call them? The Mitchell brothers, and they need to get Peggy involved. I was taken for about 10 minutes. Absolutely quality, really good. Now look at that. I
need to throw this out here, and I hope Joe is watching. I told him 2 weeks ago that this was going to happen. I told him about Millwall. I keep putting it in the comments. I want to get that out there, because he laughed at me. All he was laughed at me when I said Millwall was the one that was going to do it to us. Yeah. Whenever. So, yeah, moving on.
In fairness, like we did call it, I didn't think it was ever gonna be easy down at Millwall, especially having seen them playing a couple of times, not as much as other championship teams, but seeing them playing here and there, the way they play, lads, it was always going to be tough for Leeds United, the way that we want to play. And Matt, you obviously watched our pre-match, and Leeds did play the better football, and we are the better team on paper, but I just think their setup was just so much more effective. The first 5-10 minutes, I thought their press was really good. Like, I obviously texted, I was sitting in a pub here in Spain that I found, and there was about 20 Sunderland fans down the end wearing Sunderland jerseys, and it was on the big screen. I was watching the Leeds match in a little telly in the corner, and they were just coming down and just ripping it out on me, and about when they won the league or the FA Cup against us and all. And I was just, you know, when you're just one of them, you just have to take the heat. But I just thought Millwall were really good. I thought the first 5-10 minutes, I thought that press was really good. They set up very well. To be honest, lads, we didn't really have anything clear cut, did we? There's nothing where we can look back, and not from my mind, a couple of half chances here and there, but nothing really kind of clear cut where you say, yeah, that was a chance.
Header, but it was non-O with a header, so I don't know if they can class.
That's what I'm saying. It was kind of little half chances where you're kind of like, that was a chance, and was it like really a chance? It wasn't. But I think probably the one thing that we have to go straight into the Pirro one, lads. Do you think it was right that he started Pirro up top, or do you think it was the time to change it and put
just for the new viewers that are in here? Matt, you got me this, lads. I'm a Pirro lover. You know, so no, we should have started Joseph. I said it for the last 3 or 4 games. He's Matty hit it there on Joe, and you said it as well, Darren, in the past. Different horses for different races. You know,
Different horses for different
Joseph
courses.
should.
You big
well, I said
sausage.
that. Joseph should have been starting a lot, probably 3 or 4 games ago. I know Perro's been scoring, but just seems to. Matty said it as well. Joseph pulls defenders, stretches them, makes the pitch a lot wider. You know, I just think he has that flair. He's young. He should be starting a bit more. If I'm being completely honest.
He just has a bit more
Perro.
about him, man. It's worked the other way though. It's worked with Joseph starting and Pirro coming on and getting the goal. It's worked that way, hasn't it? And it just
I'm starting to see it that way more, if that makes sense.
It doesn't seem to work vice versa though. It doesn't seem to work when Pirro's not at it. It doesn't seem like Joseph can ever come on and like that get a goal or. I know Sheffield United now is that coming back to mind when he did score one kind of late on, but he never really seems to kind of impact the game like the way Pirro would if Pirro comes on as a sub. So I just felt like that game was tailor made for Joseph for me. Now QPR the weekend.
Our most effective run this season, lads. Our most effective stint of form has been with Joseph starting and Pirro coming on. Problem with that is Pirro came on for 4 games in a row and got a goal. So eventually you've got to look at him in iron training and tell him he ain't playing again when he's scoring and scoring and scoring. Unfortunately, you sort of give it a peer pressure and you think he's got to start a game. And as a fan, you sort of look at it and go, yeah, fair enough, he's worth, Joseph hasn't scored in a few and he's coming off and scoring. But that combination, if he just had the bollocks to stick with that combination, I reckon we may have got more points over these last 4 or 5 games. But I understand why he switched it. But that combination does work. It's just, can you keep Pirro happy playing 25 minutes a game? Yes, if he scores, but maybe not. You look at the minutes he's played. He hasn't played that many minutes, really, has he? That's why his minutes to goal ratio is really good.
That's it. Yeah, it's really, really good because he hasn't played much. And I'm getting more and more fearful now because Danny obviously mentioned it weeks ago, lads, back from the Sheffield United game. He mentioned that we constantly have this to and fro now. It seems to be with Joseph and Pirro, that 1 week it's Pirro, 1 week it's Joseph, and we're all saying start him. And it's kind of getting to the stage now when neither are kind of outdoing each other. They're kind of across the same level. And I think that might come to a stage, and Danny's mentioned it, that if it comes to January and Bamford gets his fitness back, we could very, very easily see Bamford back in our starting lineup, lads. What do you think of that?
Don't, please.
Do you not think so, though, Matty? Do you not think because it's not working 100%?
No. Yeah, but
I know we're saying no, and I'm saying no. But I just have this little thing in the back of my head, Matty, that's it's not clicking at the minute with either Joseph or Pirro. We can't say every 100% that he's the nail down striker, and in every squad and every team that gets promoted, you'd say he's your main striker, he's the one to get you out of this division. We don't have that yet at the minute, and I'm fearful. This is what I'm saying. I'm fearful. I'm not saying I want it, but I'm saying I'm fearful that it might come to a stage that if one or the other doesn't start producing more, that we might see Bamford in.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, he came on, didn't he, for 10 minutes there, which is 10 minutes more than I ever wanted to play, to be honest. But I think Joseph and Pirro does work. It's just finding the combination of the which way round to go with it. And different games, like you said, the Millwall game were perfect for Joseph to start and Pirro to come on. Certain games will suit who should start, but I do think them two. It's just which way you get them.
Of course, it counts, AB, 100%.
When you
any point.
When you count up how many goals,
Matty, what have you got? Actually, we didn't see your point yet, did we?
Oh mate, I haven't even got a pint tonight. I've been talking to them, and I've just got a can. I'm going first time.
Matty.
Honestly,
he needed to be sober to stick the bit in.
I even contemplated. Sod the pint and get a gallon. I was actually going to fill up a vase full of ale because I'm that pissed off. But I've been on that show and I just haven't got one tonight, which I'm fuming about. But yeah.
I was just laughing there, so when Darren mentioned Bamford there, you just sat back in the chair there. I was like, God, this man's about to go out.
I just can't go there, lads. I can't go there. I really can't.
All I can say is, I love this club.
Danny said in chat, that's when his run started last year, and I understand, we had that 13-game run, and he was a big part of it. There's no denying that. But he doesn't stay fit long enough anyway, so I don't even get my hopes up if he came on and had a couple of good games.
No, I agree. Yeah, no, I
don't
agree
get
with
my
that,
hopes because there's no longevity to it. So for me, it doesn't even need to be in conversation because it's just pointless. We might as well talk about Geldart playing minutes. It's just a pointless conversation for me.
Mate, you can get off that hook now. I got you.
Hey, honestly, don't say the B word to me. Hey, I'll support him, but no, it's just not for me.
He's all know how I feel about Bamford, lads.
Yeah.
I'm not even,
Oh, no.
I'm not even getting into it with him.
I think it's worth discussion in terms of what you're saying, Darren, because
Yeah.
Farker.
No, there is a little bit of point on
Farker
that.
likes him. I think. I do think Farker rates him. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. I
Well,
wouldn't be
I'm not being
surprised.
smart, mate. You'd want to like him for 44 grand a week, and he's doing absolutely jack shit. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
all-
I'm not being smart here, lads.
I'm just, I think it's getting to a stage where I kind of, if you had said to me back at the start of the season, look, we were all waxing lyrical about Matteo Joseph and how he was playing a pre-season. He was going to be our number 9. He was going to bang in 20, 25 goals, and very, very unrealistic at the start when everyone was kind of saying it to me. I was like, yeah, I want to go see him do that, but the young man that he is, it was always going to be a hard thing to do. Pirro's obviously came in. Pirro is scoring goals, kind of coming off the bench more regularly than what he is in starting games for us. So now it's getting to a stage that's 14 games in, and neither one can really turn around and say they're our number 1 striker, that they've taken the mantle. And you need that in a promotion and a championship team that's going to lead it. You need a striker that's banging the goals. When we think back to the Jermaine Beckfords, the Becchios, the teams that were starting, the players that were starting week in, week out, that you knew were our strikers that we could rely on. We don't have that at the minute. So that's why I'm getting a little bit fearful. The more that this goes on and the more this kind of starts coming to January, Mark might just get a little idea in his head going, well, it's time to throw Patrick back in, because the two of these just aren't out doing each other. Yeah, they're doing it to a significant level, but they're not really pushing beyond where they're kind of making my mind up going that he's my 11. And I think Daniel Farke likes that. He likes having his idea. We've already heard him talking about eating Ampadu when he said that Ampadu was going to be his starting midfielder, and even when he said when he brought Gilavogi in, that when Ampadu comes back, he's going to be straight back into the starting lineup. So he has this idea in his head, and I'm just getting a little bit fearful that we might see Bamford a little bit sooner rather than later.
Well, that's if he can not get injured or not go on a podcast.
Yeah, no,
instead of
yeah.
Badminton, Leeds, or Bielsa, or whoever it was.
I've got you as well. I've got you as well.
You did,
Get off the hook.
Matt, you're with you, pal. I'm staying with you tonight.
It's mad, isn't it?
Pour that big point of ale for me as well. Yeah, I'm on the way.
When you watch Pirro play, the amount of times nice one, John.
Oh, I love them
With
biscuits,
jammy
lads. You ever
dollars?
have them
Oh,
biscuits with a cup of tea?
yeah.
Evie, if you're having a cup of tea, grab one of them biscuits and you can't go wrong. They are
I'm actually gonna
Jammy Dodgers,
I'm
lads.
gonna ask the missus, can she make me a cup of tea and a few of them?
Jammy Dodgers are the goats. Love it. Absolutely love it. Right, lads, moving on to Willie Nanto is getting a little bit of stick online for his performance last night, lads. Do you think it's a little bit merited, or do you think it's been a little bit harsh what's going on with Willie Nanto?
Definitely harsh.
Evie's going to be
100%.
straight in on the chat here now.
100% harsh, lads. He's getting assists, he's getting goals, and then I think it was you, Matty, that said it back in one of the videos a while ago. It's like he's overdoing it. He's trying a bit too hard. He's trying to do it himself at times. Nothing wrong with that to a certain degree, but I feel like me and you hit it on the head as well, Darren. It's like the mantelpiece from Somerville to not has gone to Nanto, and I think there's a lot of pressure to be putting on him. He's still only young, lads.
I think he feels that, but I don't think it should be that though. I think he feels like that he should be the man, and that's from his performances. I think that he feels like I have to do everything, and Jerry hit the nail on the head, and it was like, how do you kind of get this opinion across? But he turned and said he's just delaying that pass an extra second because he's like, I want to do it, I want to score the goal, I want to make the assist, I want to be the big player, and that's what I'm kind of getting from Willie Nanto now.
But that shows his maturity that he hasn't from last year when moaning to the ref or going down easy, or just is messing the smile that he always he shows, to wind up players or wind up the ref, and he's getting silly yellow cards. He has matured in that sense, but maybe he hasn't matured as an overall ball player. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's mad. It's mad when you think his form seems to have dipped. We mentioned it before in pre-match that since he's moved to the left, which is crazy when you consider it in Premier League. He played his best football.
Because we all thought that was his best position. I would have said left wing, cutting in on that right foot. I thought he'd be absolutely lethal, and hasn't worked for him.
And obviously with that void we've got with Ramazani being out and Solomon trying to get his fitness and Dan James's form went right, it makes sense to play him at left. But I think that we'd get the best Nanto down the middle. I think as a 10 would be his. I think he's got all the attributes to play in 10. But obviously with Aronson playing really well there, he ain't getting a look in there. But I do feel
we haven't been the same. Sorry for going across you, mate.
Everybody
else been the same.
Everybody else looked better with him in the side as well. When Ramazani was in the team, you could see the smile on Nanto's face. There was synergy between the four of them. When Ramazani played, everybody raised the level. And we had that before when we had Rafinha. You get certain people who raise the level. When you play with good great players, you elevate your own performance, because when you're mixing with, with people who are showing that quality, you raise it, like when you're playing against a poor side, or it's a poor standard of league, or you've got poor players. Sometimes you can drop down to that level. We saw that a little bit yesterday. Whereas when you're playing with good players, they raise the bar. And I think Ramazan is a massive miss. But obviously, that, like Joe was saying about excuses, that ain't an excuse when you've got the squad we've got and the talent we've got. And we've got to fathom the way through this until we get that star man back, who, as we would agree, is too good for this division. But going back to Willie Gnonto, I do feel like maybe his bar set so high. I mean, he had, let's be fair, 3 or 4 games ago, he had a 3-game spell where he looked unplayable. He looked amazing for three games. So it's just a little bit inconsistent. But I don't feel like he's playing really good or really bad. I feel like he's playing really good, or maybe just good, or just okay. But because his level's so high and we expect so much from him, the drop off seems so massive. When I don't think anyone played particularly bad yesterday. I just don't think anyone played excellent either. I feel like it was just meh, and I think Willie Gnonto's bar is probably the highest in our squad.
Yeah,
hence
100%.
why it seems.
I think more so last year with Willie Gnonto is, obviously we had the start of the season last when he handed in a transfer request, and then he was obviously out of the squad for a while, and then he came back in, and his performance was very kind of up and down, and he kind of be in games, but he always kind of scored in like big games and gave us big moments. And I feel like more this season he's more consistent through the season. He's more kind of giving us the level of performance that we've kind of craved from Willie Gnonto, without kind of getting the big goals or the big assists, where he'd usually kind of pop up, because he usually would kind of go missing for 2 or 3 games. He'd always kind of be thereabouts, but he'd go missing, and then he'd pop up with a goal, and we'd all be talking about Willie Gnonto again, and he'd go missing again. I just think this season he's just been steadily, like, his performance has been decent without kind of getting the goals and assists with it. And I just feel like he's trying to force, and we've been saying about a couple of weeks with him last, that he's trying to force it. It feels like the weight of Leeds United is on his shoulders, but I think us as fans, we feel like it doesn't have to be, does it? Because there's so much quality across this squad, where he could make that pass a little bit quicker or take that shot a little bit faster. That it isn't really on Willie Gnonto. But do you think he does want it to be? Do you think he's trying to prove himself to get to that next level, or do you think he has really Leeds United at heart?
No, it's definitely Leeds United at heart. It's definitely a career path progression for him. Let's be honest, lads. I'm all for fairy tales and endings and all, but come on, that's not what that's about. Like, he's here to do one thing, and that's get Leeds promoted, and we might stay again next season if we're in the Premier League. Possibly not. We'll see how things fare out. But he's when Somerville had left, we were talking about Darren at the start. There was a post on Instagram, I think it was, or X, one of them, and Somerville did say to him, quote was, you're the man.
Main man now, or something like that, yeah.
He's still young, lads. It's a lot of pressure to be putting on him.
21, only 21 years of age. Mental, absolutely.
He's a great player. He is a great player. And only time will tell, but I wouldn't be counting your chickens yet, like, to see him go next season. If I'm being completely honest.
There's 2 sides to it. When you look at that, he's been linked to a Premier League side for the best part of 2 years now. So that shows his quality. No one's took the punt on him yet, probably because of the inconsistency. So there's talent there. People just want to see it for a longer period of time, and it's like you say, it's coming in. A couple 3 and 4s at the minute. 3 and 4 really good games. 3 and 4 subpar games. It don't look terrible, no, but sometimes you just can't get going in games. And when you're Leeds United and you're expected to be on front foot and spanking teams, it doesn't just go for Willie Gnonto, it goes for a lot of our players. We can look okay, but for Leeds United, that ain't good enough. And a lot of our player ceiling's higher than everybody else's within the division. So when they're not on it, it's easy to say they're crap or they're playing below par. But I do feel like Willie Gnonto is going to have some massive moments for us this season. His quality will prevail, and I don't think he's going to get dropped. I think he'll play through the little bit of adversity he's going through now. Like I say, I'm ultra positive. I think he'll come good, and he'll be one of those players who we talk about in the season, saying how good would he. I believe.
And do you think last night, and I'll put this obviously to the 2 years, but do you think the performance last night, do you think it was solely down to the players' performance just not reaching the level and the quality that we know they have? Or do you think it's on Daniel Farke, the performance last night? Dylan, if you want to go first.
No, it's a bit of a tough one to kind of answer. I genuinely think, and Matty's going to hate me for saying this, the lads went out there to do a job and it was to win the game. It didn't happen. Simple as that. That's the book closed. And to be quite honest, yes, we did play better with possession and shots and passes.
We were the better team, Dillo. We were the better team.
We were, mate. I agree with you.
Yeah.
We were, but Millwall.
Sorry, man.
Millwall won, and in that sense, they're the better team, if that makes sense. But yeah, I do understand where you're coming from. Like Leeds played them off the park to a certain degree.
Do you think that's what I'm trying to get at? Do you think it was Millwall's game plan that kind of done Leeds in, or do you think it was our lack of quality? Like, if you could put it down to one thing and say, what was it that Leeds United just couldn't reach them heights last night? Was it that Millwall were very good, very well organised, or were Leeds United on the par?
No, it's just they frustrated the life out of them. It's just the exact same as Burnley. I called it as well, lads. They were literally just jumping in for tackles. And even like Tanaka, welcome to the championship, pal. This is what it is. You know, he didn't do anything wrong either, but those tackles flying in left, right, and centre. But Leeds were genuinely, I get where Matty's coming from. They were like the better team. Like, they control the ball a lot better. There was times Millwall did kind of, come forward, but Leeds were shutting them down. Leeds were winning the ball. They were playing out from the back, building up play. Everything was kind of rosy, but they just got one clean cut chance and they got a goal from it. But Leeds were, I think Matty said it in his video, it's like a lack of quality. Just that finish, the finished product, if that's...
Do you remember I said it though in the match build-up, Matty? Do you remember I mentioned it 3 or 4 times when I said to you was that I feel like the first goal is very, very important, and I feel like when we're on top, we need to make it count. We need to get in and we need to get the first goal. We can't make mistakes, and that's what happened. I feel like we had half chances here and there, and we really didn't make much of it. The goal I thought we gave away was typical. Well, it was a typical Millwall goal that they were going to score against us. A stupid Sunday League ball across. The big guy wins it back, and then it's a tap in into the net, and no one picking up free as a board. And it never felt like after that. I know we kind of had all the possession, but did any of us ever feel like that Legion were going to get one back? And then even when Pirro scored, and it was obviously flagged for offside, it just felt like it was kind of like typical, wasn't it? It felt like one of them Leedsy kind of nights. And obviously you're big on the Leedsy thing, is what me and Matty say to you. But it just felt like one of them nights to me that we weren't ever going to get out of jail. We weren't ever just going to nick it. We weren't going to do the opposite of what Leeds ever do and just like score one in the last minute and nick it and take a draw and go, right, look, we'll take it there. Not the best performance, and we'll take a draw away from the den.
There was definitely a time there though yesterday when I was watching that game. I was literally just thinking of Matty. I know that sounds strange, but I mean it in the sense of I was like he's right. Like, I could just feel it was like, yeah, we're 1-0 down, 18 minutes, all of a sudden we're going to win 3-1. Like that was like the vibes I was getting. Not that we were playing well, I was just like, this is going to happen. Actually, I'm starting to kind of be a bit more confident, and because you might ruined it for me. But no, look, it just didn't happen. But in future, I won't be listening.
I agree with Evie though with this one, because this is obviously what they're trying to back up. I agree with Evie with this one, and obviously I said it last night in our instant match reaction. I thought Millwall, they had a plan, and the exact same thing as what Burnley did to us. They had a plan, they stuck to it, they executed it, and they won the game. And I can't sit here and say that Millwall were the better side on the night. 100% they weren't. But they set up to do what they done to us, and they done it perfectly well. So that's why I have to agree with Evie. And I know I wanted to be on the side of Matty. I wanted to be confident. I wanted to say, we're going to go there. We're going to spank them 3-0. There was nothing for me that I could see us go and do that. And I know we have the quality on paper. I felt like seeing Millwall this year, it was just a carbon copy, and this is why I think this probably boils down to Daniel Farke a little bit more for me than the players. And I'm not Daniel Farke, and I know, Matty, I've seen your post match, and like, I'm not Daniel Farke whatsoever, and anyone that is, I think, are absolutely off their chumps, because is what you said. Sorry. Like, that always makes Dylan's laugh off the chumps. What you said, Matty, like, post Bielsa, like, who's been our best manager? Like, it's been Bielsa, and after Bielsa, who's been our best manager? It's Daniel Farke, 100%. So
100%.
I think he is the best man for the job, 100%. Is his football a little bit boring at times? Yeah, 100%. 100%. But is it effective? Is it effective to get us out of this league? Definitely, 110%. And it's a different conversation, and we all keep hearing this, and even on Just Joe tonight, I keep hearing people going, oh, well, the Premier League, the Premier League.
Why is everyone jumping up?
We need to get there. We need to get there. Let us get to the Premier League. The Premier League is a totally different division. If we get to the Premier League, and after like couple of weeks, couple of months, whatever it may be, Daniel Farke's not doing a job and we decide to sack him, he's not going to be our manager forever. As much as we all thought Bielsa was going to be our manager forever, Don Ravy, Howard Wilson, managers come and go, the football club will always remain. And if he goes when we go to the Premier League, whatever, so be it. But I'm just thinking the here and the now, where we are at Leeds United, a Championship football club. Daniel Farke is the best man for the job to get us out of this division, and his CV proves it. Last season proves it. So I just think we have to stick by him. Did he get it wrong in Millwall? Yeah, I think so, 100%. Does he have a couple of things that we need to iron out with the likes of set pieces? Yeah, definitely. But I also have to give him his flowers as well, lads. I do think we've improved on last season, because I do think we're very, very solid at the back. Apart from set pieces, like Matty, we spoke about it, what do we consider, 3 shots in 5 games or something like that. Yeah. We're absolutely rock solid at the back, and that is some foundation to go on. If we can just click on it, the other end of it, it has to come good. And only 14 games into the season, for me, time is only going to tell, isn't it?
And that's not just because they're good defenders. That's because we keep possession of the ball and don't allow you to attack. It's not just we're solid. You know, look how there's 2 ways to defend it. Look how Millwall defended. They didn't have the ball and they defended heroically and kept us out. We don't need to defend like that, because we have the ball, and that's our form of defence, is keeping possession. Like I say, Millwall didn't play better football than us yesterday, but they defended better than us, or more heroic than us, because they had to all the bodies online. You know, they packed that box. We don't have to defend like that. I don't even know if we could defend like that, because we haven't got the size, we haven't got the physical and the height. So we defend by being on the front foot and keeping the ball. And our best form of defence is attack, a bit like Bielsa used to say, without that fast forward, keep the ball. So we don't concede goals, because we don't concede chances. Last night they conceded some chances, or Millwall will concede loads of chances. But defensively, they've got really solid defenders in there, and that's why they're getting clean sheets. Not because they're a better footballing team does, because it's an harder mate. Like I say, you can defend 2 ways, and I'd prefer to have 75% of the ball and have the odd hiccup where you can't break someone down, but still be. Let's be fair, Leeds are going to get around the 90 points and we'll get promoted, no matter what anyone says. Or if you want, you can go be a Millwall fan, win 4 on bounce 1-0, have 25% possession, and get 70 points and be 9th.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So basically what you're saying is that would you rather be Daniel Farke or Neil Harris, and the Daniel Farke side over a 46-game season is going to get you out of this division, where the Neil Harris one isn't. So I 100% agree with you, Matty, where that's come from. I'd much rather we all sit here as Leeds fans and we criticise Daniel Farke's football the way it is now. Could you imagine the shoe was on the other foot and we were in Millwall last night and we were watching that tribe? And look, you're delighted that there was a Millwall fan that wrote onto us and go on the match build up. I don't know if any of you seen it, boys, but it was just like you said that you're a better team than us. So we won 1-0, and you were saying we're the better side. Like, I do still think Leeds United are the better side of Millwall. I do think we have the better players. I do think we have the better quality. When they come to Ellen Road, I think we'll absolutely thump them out of the park. But I just think that was a one-off game last night, and that can happen in the Championship, lads. It's
just a bad day at the office. Everyone's going nuclear.
Everyone was just jumping the gun for me, and I just think it was just one of them days. Like, it happens again. There's not times that you be 100% at it. And Matty, I'm going to bring it back when we obviously first started doing this podcast to get our YouTube channel, when we spoke about one of the very first things. We said Leeds United can't win pretty. And last night, they couldn't win pretty. And we've said it so many times. It always feels like we need to, be the quality side. We need to
walk the ball into
goal, have the perfect performance. It never really feels like that. We could go to Millwall last night and we could defend and we could be gritty and we could nick one like the way they did and come out one and go, yeah.
No, he said it was like the ball, a goal that goes in off someone's ass and goes in. It never happens to us. It never does.
It's like Evie said in chat though, about, they should be proud of how they defended, they executed the game plan. That's great, but we go to Cardiff, we win 2-0, and everybody's fuming. I'll always bring that up. So we can't.
But mate, I was there. I was walking on the stadium, and it blew my mind, because I was like, Leeds United won 2-0. I was at an away day. I was like, Leeds United won 2-0, absolutely buzzing. And there's fans like Murm's going around me, and Daniel Farke came over to, do his whole, 3-point thing, and everyone, your football shite, man.
We can't do that, mate. We can't score a goal like Millwall scored yesterday.
Do you want to go back to David Hockaday, like?
We can't score a goal from a free kick, set piece, corner, whatever, a flick on, as centre half, taps it in corner, win, and then we defend heroically. Nobody will, a big proportion of the Leeds fans will look at that. They won't praise the defence, they won't praise Farke's tactics. They'll go as if we've only won 1-0. They won't look at that decide, because it's Millwall. That's their standard, that's their level. With Leeds, if we don't win, we beat Plymouth 3-0, that's still not enough. And I went at that game and it was poor. We could have done better. I don't think we played particularly well in that game. We brought ourselves down to their level for me. But like I say, because it's Millwall, that's a fantastic effort result. With their resources, that's brilliant, because I kept, a multi-million-pound side, Burnley and Leeds, to be fair. I think their squad's worth more than ours. Burnley, scandalously got 6 points out of us both. But we can't do that. We have to win and look good on the eye, or there's always question marks, and that's what infuriates me with a section.
It always feels like we need to have the result and the performance with it, otherwise it's not. If we get the result and the performance is shite, we have to criticise it, and it's bark out all the time.
And heaven forbid we get neither, Darren.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened last night, mate. And do you know what? I hate to break it to you all. That's going to happen again this season, lads. That is going to happen again. The carbon copy, and I seen someone on X turn around saying, why do we always lose the exact same way? Because that's the only way Leeds United can lose, because that's the way Daniel Farke has it set up. We're never ever going to be defeated by this quality side that play beautiful football and in between the lines and intricate. We are going to lose against sides like that. Exactly. It was carbon copy the way it was against Burnley. They set up to absolutely frustrate us and hit us on the counter attack, and they did. And he got a lucky break, and the exact same thing with Millwall last night. As soon as he got the goal, they sat in. They had absolutely no impetus to come forward and try and get a second and win the game, which we would. We would do that. If we went 1-0 up at Millwall, we'd go try and get another, and then Daniel Park would take his foot off the gas. So for me, mate,
I agree with you, Darren. 110%. Only I'm going back to what I said a few weeks ago. Where's the plan B? Instead of chucking on a lot of strikers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Where's the plan B?
That's another side of the conversation now, and I'm sure Matty's going to agree with it as well. That's another side of the conversation. His substitutions for me, lads, it doesn't really have any kind of tactical nails. It always just feels like it's a little bit kind of helter-skelter. Throw on what we can, get all the strikers on, let's try and score a goal. And it seems like it just ruins our flow of the game, ruins our formation, ruins absolutely everything. It worked once. What I remember, someone in the chat you might remember, lads, it worked at Norwich away last season when we were 2-0 down and we won 3-2. Any other time he's done it, it doesn't seem to work for me. It just absolutely ruins the whole flow of the game.
Matty hit the nail on the head in his video. You said it, the quote he used was Hail Mary, and I know the reference that you from American football, and he hit the nail on the head. Now, like, I'm not dissing Farke, it's just it has happened a lot this season where we're behind in a game or a scrappy draw, and he's just chugging on a lot of strikers for the crack. Like, there has to be some sort of foundation there in place where you can change it up instead of just going. It looked at it like a 4-2-4. I think when the last subs that came on.
When Bamford and
Bamford, like a great setup for me personally. I like that formation, but you can't be drawing on a lot of strikers at the crack.
And at that point, Billo, you've still got 10 minutes left plus injury time, so maybe 15 minutes. It's still a long time, if you change the personnel or tweak the tactics, as opposed to just sending every man on the dog on to try and get a goal, where, like you say, it looks disjointed. There's no way, like I said on Joe's show, there's no way they work on that on training. They don't work on that formation in training. That there at that point is just blind faith. Just want to get us a goal.
You know what I'm saying? But do you feel, just me asking you straight out, mate, do you think that's the right thing to do? Like,
no, I don't. I mean, we all know, right? Farke is the best man for the job to get promoted.
100%.
Right? We know that. Obviously, he's not perfect. He's got flaws, and he's
of course. Yeah. But Bielsa did as well, though, mate. Bielsa did as well. Every manager does.
Massively.
I think like we look back and think Bielsa was perfect. That we won every single game under him. Like, there was times, lads, that when we lost to City and United and all. Like, I remember going on to X and Twitter at the time, and everyone's like, Bielsa out, he's incompetent, hasn't got a plan B, and blah blah blah. Like, no manager is ever going to be perfect. Every manager is going to have that flaw.
Bielsa was perfect.
From that with Bielsa, we went with that before Bielsa to Bielsa, and then obviously after him, Farke's always going to be.
Yeah,
he's never going to be up there no matter what.
He's always going to be the stepdad that comes in to mind the kids and no one really looks, isn't it?
Would it be agreed to say, though, that when Bielsa, now we're going off topic here real quick, though, that when Bielsa did come in, the city, the club, was whole again? Would it be fair to say that?
Yeah, 100%.
So when he did leave, and then you got fucking Marsh and all these other clowns that did come in, that there was that broke again. But a lot of, from what you could see, a lot of new fans or old fans from back in the day came back in because of Bielsa. So now with Farke in position, they're just like, no good, out. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're not seeing it like that.
They always compare Farke to Bielsa. Why not compare Farke to Marsh, to Allardyce?
Yeah, or Sam Allardyce to Gracia.
Why not compare them to that? Because we flunked to them. We have picked it back up. Yeah, we're not up there. No, we're not.
Yeah.
let's enjoy the climb while we try and get back up there. Do you know what I mean? It's not a
Yeah,
case
enjoy the journey.
We've had
Because we all said it. We all said at the time, Matty, that we all look back in the Bielsa days and we're all riding this roller coaster and we finished ninth in the Premier League. And when we did, we're like, oh my God, imagine what we're going to do next season under Bielsa. We're going to get all these players in and we're going to be hitting Europe. And I remember giving like scum fans and all. We didn't actually enjoy the journey. And it was only after Bielsa got sacked we all turned around and gone, probably should enjoy that journey a little bit more. We'd love to go back to the Stoke game where we bet them 3-1 and we would all like to enjoy that journey. So that's where we feel like I'm at the minute with Daniel Farke. Enjoy the journey. Is his football scintillating? No, 100% not. But is he up there? Are Leeds competing in the Championship division that we're in at the minute where we are? Yes, we are. We're only 4 points off Sunderland. They had a poor performance last night as well. Could we have went top last night? Yeah, 100%. It's just one of them things. It's a long way to go. It's only 14 games a season. If we were cut adrift, if we're like 10th, do you know what I mean? And we're like 7, 8, 9, 10 points away from the top two, you're turning around and going, right, it's 100%, it's a different conversation to have. Daniel Farke needs to go. But only 4 points and third in the division, for me, it's a little bit mad saying
under Bielsa, lads,
Daniel Farke. So
under Bielsa, lads, it were like, we were that nervous because, you know, we didn't know how good we were going to be. We were so nervous just to get over that line, weren't we? You know, with COVID, we thought we were going to scup at league as well. We were so nervous for season just to end while we were top. Now it's like, right, next game. Yeah, next week. We never enjoy anything because, like I say, it was nerves for Bielsa. Now it's not really nerves. Now it's just like, right, that's done. Next one. That doesn't matter. Next one. It does matter because I pay my money every game I go to games. Yeah. I want to enjoy the moment. So as a fan, I try and take in every moment. Like I say, I went to Wembley. I was gutted we lost. Obviously, don't spend all that money, and you know, it's my biggest passion. And we always talk about it outside as family, don't we? It's the biggest passion. And give it half an hour afterwards, I go outside, I kiss the missus, I see my pal, and I start then thinking and getting excited about the following year. You know,
what's coming next? Yeah.
It didn't take me long to get over it. And that's not because I don't, you know, I ain't bothered. I am bothered. I love the club, but I also understand, you know, it's not always good.
There's no point in dwelling on. You have to move forward. Yeah.
It's ups and downs. What's the song say? It's ups and downs, and the downs make the ups more sweeter. And that's life. That's Leeds United. That's why I'm in love with this fucking club.
Going back to that stuff about Farke though, lads. Me personally, I just want to kind of put this across here.
Yeah.
Like, with Wembley last year, would it be fair to say there was no plan B either?
Yeah.
No, in fairness, you lads, I'm going to disagree with you with that one, Dylan. I don't think the players turned up at Wembley. I don't think Somerville was anywhere near his best, or was nowhere near his best. None of them players showed up at Wembley for me last season. I think they froze. They froze. That to me, Daniel Farke. But some people might turn around and go, Dan James should have started, and when Dan James came on, he had a little bit more. He did 110%. But our bigger players, the likes of Somerville, the likes of Rutter, who carried us through the whole season last season, who are our main players that we had to rely on, they never showed up last season. They didn't show up at Wembley for me. Somerville for me, I was so disappointed. I remember I went to a pub in Dublin. Anyone that's in the chat, the Camden went in with full of Leeds fans, buzzing, great day out, played March on together, absolutely full, probably 2,000 Leeds fans at it. Great day out. And I remember just walking out and the only thing we could think walking out and going, Somerville never done anything like him. And supposedly he was our best player, you know, the one to kind of drag us through it, the one to get through these big games. He never done it. And that's what I think is different in this squad this season, is that we're not reliant on one player to pull us over the line. And that's why I think we will get out of this division, because it's spread across it. Do we think Ramazani at the minute is a big miss? 110%. When he comes back, will he make a difference? Yeah, definitely. Solomon hasn't reached anywhere near the heights that he can get to. Nanto hasn't reached the heights, and Aronson is very much getting there. So 14 games in the season, we're probably going to look back at this, and when we're 30 games in, and look back and watch this video again, and we're going to say,
at this point last season, Darren, I know we were cut adrift quite significantly, but after 14 games, you could see Somerville were playing well. You could see Rutter were playing well, really well. Those two in particular were like, wow.
Froze. They just froze on the big stage.
But now, I can't really look where we are at league, and I don't think any of our players are flying, really. I can't name you one who looks.
Yeah, I agree.
The defensive unit, potentially Strauch. I think Strauch's outstanding. I think Roffel and Tanaka, but I wouldn't look at anyone and go, wow, he's stand out. I think everyone is probably playing on average at about a 7 out of 10. This time last season, you had a couple playing 8s and 9s, I think. So look where we are in league now, with less opposition around us, and we're only just getting going. I mean, I don't like bringing it up now because I prefer Roffel and Tanaka. I prefer that the way they play midfield, right? But you still look at it, and we set out the season with Gruev and Ampadu, right? And then Ramazan is coming as first choice now. He might have been second choice to Solomon, but he's first choice. So you've lost 3 of your starters, right, at the start of the season. Almost 30% of your starting lineup, right? So they're out. One of them's your captain. And you had to adapt and get them two playing together with all international breaks either side, away at Sunderland, away at Norwich. They come through that battle, patched together for those 2 games.
Patched, yeah.
They're still only 4 or 5 games into a partnership in the Championship, and that's where midfield's where the game is won and lost for me. And when you look at that, they're still adapting to each other's game. We said, didn't we, before that international break, they didn't really have any, even after the international break, they didn't have any time together. They came back and they had a game straight away against Sheffield United. It's only been the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they've actually had some synergy in training, some consistency to the training together.
Actually working together, yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't like using that because I would now, if everyone were fit, I would still stick with Tanaka and Rothwell. But it's got to be brought up that we lost his captain. We've lost arguably his most talented winger, and we've lost Gruev, who were a mainstay last season. That's 3 players out of 10 outfield players.
Massive, yeah.
And look where we are in the league.
That's why I'm
confident. That's why I'm confident.
Mate, do you think that there should be some sort of change up or shape up? Sorry, they're going into QPR on Saturday.
I just think slight tweaks. I don't think it needs a massive shake up because for me, we haven't been beaten up in any of the 14 games. Not any of them. We've lost 2 games. We haven't been beaten in terms of, the eye test and the stats, apart from the one stat where the goals. We haven't been beaten up by any side. So I don't think it needs wholesale changes, no. I think Bogle was the worst player on the pitch for us, and I like Byron.
Yeah, I was surprised because I thought he was going to come out. After the suspension, I thought he was going to come out. He dragged his performance back down again, didn't he?
Don't get me wrong. I don't expect Byram to start over Bogle, not unless Bogle plays 3 or 4 bad games, which I don't expect him to do, by the way. I think he'll look really good against QPR. But I think Byram for Bogle, if Byram's fit, isn't a bad swap, even though Chat will probably tell me I'm stupid. But I just think that the easy subtle changes is I think Solomon's due a start. I think he's looked good off at bench last 2 games, even though that profile of winger isn't my taste of winger. I prefer a Ramazan, or someone who grabs game back, scruff and neck. I don't really like this cutting inside, but it is what it is. I think he's too talented to sit on bench, and I think he's earned a start now. Yeah. 3 games in 7 days, let him have a crack, and I think
give him a whip, yeah.
And I think Joseph will start. I think they're the 2 changes that the fans are starting to think. Yeah, that's an easy change. I don't think the Gilavogian midfield is needed for QPR.
No, not
maybe
yet.
for Millwall. Maybe I think that Millwall game would have been ideal.
The Millwall game was not for QPR.
Yeah. It came too early for him, the Millwall game. That's the problem with that. But for me,
if it was QPR and then it was Millwall this week, then you'd say Gilavogian then. But for me, no. For me, QPR nowhere. And to be honest with you, lads, I would start Pirro again because we're playing lesser opposition. And I said the same thing against Plymouth because I think Pirro could do damage against these lesser sides. When we come up against the physical sides, like the likes of the Millwall, them tough kind of championship teams, Bowser was the one to start. So again, I would start Pirro, and that's probably mental people saying that because he didn't do well against Millwall. But if you look at the QPR game as a whole and go, who are we coming up against? I think Pirro would do a job against him, and he probably will score the weekend, and everyone's waxing lyrical again against Pirro,
Yeah, I just think Joseph's due a start now regardless of that. I mean, I think even the Plymouth game, I was watching that and I'm thinking Pirro's not getting in game, but then he scores. You win 3-0. Oh,
we've said this here. It's a mini rebuild, lads. We're going through, and as much as we don't like it, and everyone's kind of saying we're Legion are going through a mini rebuild because we have quality players, and we did have really, really good players playing for us last season. That's why we're going through a mini rebuild, and it's going to happen. And Jesus Christ, God forbid if we don't go up again, it's going to be an even bigger rebuild next season. And that's when you're a championship side, it's going to happen.
Like Joe said, Darren and Deloitte, it's excuses, but there is excuses in life, isn't there? There is a 100-meter sprinter couldn't run as fast if he had one leg, could he? There's excuses for everything in life. So, like,
of course, there's always going to be.
When Evie reels those names off some of those players.
An excuse every day. I won't even go for a walk.
I didn't rate Kamara, but he's still a name who was starting. You look at that, and that, like you say, more than half your team's gone from last season. We're only 14 games in. And it's had 2 international breaks there, disturbing stuff. So it still is a bit of a mini rebuild, like you said. They're still trying to get that synergy. Then you throw your captain. I think we've had a lot to contend with. My biggest bugbear is the subs, and the away form is a little bit worrying.
A little bit worrying, yeah. Yeah, agree with you.
I'll bring that up. The away form is slightly concerning now because
Do you think? I think we need to set up a little bit different going away from home. I think we need to be a little bit more harder, to be a little bit more kind of like World Leeds. We're hard to break down. I just feel like when we go away from home against Millwall, I think we showed them a little bit too much respect. We were a little bit too easy on them. We thought we could just play through them, or we could just show up and beat them. It's never going to be like that because, Matty, you said it to me once, and it's something that always kind of resonates with me, is that these teams, every other team in the championship, when they see Leeds United coming out, they up that level all the time. For Leeds United to do that 46 games a season, to constantly up that level against these teams that come and play against Leeds United week in, week out, they're absolutely loving it. Like, them Millwall fans last night, the way they celebrated and the players, it was like they were after winning the league. You could see it, the exact same thing as Sunderland. They absolutely love beating Leeds United. Where we'd go and beat Plymouth last week, and it's just like, it's nothing. It's just like what you said, mate, just another tick in the box. So... Are we going?
Just showing it out there. Trying to just break the tension there.
So it was on a bit flow there, just here for
I
going.
didn't think the Den were bouncing yesterday though.
No, it was dead, and there was empty seats.
Leeds are coming to town. They're gonna, I feel
Yeah,
like
Leeds are coming to town, and they were going to do their strobe lights and all this. It was the first time they were ever going to do these lights and all in the Den and this, and then you're
I'm trying to tell you,
and just there's empty seats and all this.
I was going to turn. It was actually giving me a headache. But they turned them lights on. Jesus Christ!
Like I said, they got stuck in on pitch, but I expected, like that hostile atmosphere, like we all spoke about going to Millwall.
Yeah.
I feel like that bit's maybe gone a little bit, but yeah, I mean, on the pitch, they were solid enough and they nullified our main threats and made it very, very difficult for us. But yeah, I was just expecting more from the atmosphere. I was quite shocked, to be fair.
Mate, you said
Scooby here when I bring up the corners, lads. Like, obviously, I think saying Rottweilers came in, they've got a little bit better, haven't they? A little bit, but we're still just not. We don't look dangerous from corners at all.
There wasn't. All of his corners yesterday were dirt.
How isn't he working on set pieces though, lads? There has
to
be.
They were all dirt. Every single one of them were dirt. I have to be completely honest with you.
Thing is, even
because in a game like that, that's the 1%er where you get a corner and you nick it and you draw 1-1. That's the 1%er. Yeah, in every other weekend, yeah, it's not going to matter. But when it does in a game like that away at Millwall, where you can rely on your set pieces that you've trained through the whole week, you can whip a ball into the box and nick it and draw the game 1-1. We just don't seem to have that, lads, do we?
Even when he beats the first man, though, when he gets a good ball in, like you say, I don't feel like we're working it enough. They don't know what to do. The movement in the box just isn't there. I mean, he did get a couple onto penalty spot and a couple bounced and went on the box. And it'd be like, why is there no one attacking it? And that's maybe a point with Gilavogi going forward. Obviously, he'd give us that threat, wouldn't he? When you look at, I don't think he's needed on Saturday in terms of general play, but I feel like we need someone who's going to give us that threat from set pieces. And I know it can only be, sometimes only has to be one man. I mean, we all knew, didn't we? Cooper is the man to watch. Yet because of his stature, you still couldn't stop him. We're still going to win that first ball.
Yeah.
Hence why Millwall drop off and try and create pockets around him for that second ball. And we switched off for that one. But with Leeds, Pascal Strout makes himself busy, but we know he can't really head a ball. We tried a good cut. I like, since Rocco's come in, I feel like he varies the corners a lot more. Like he tried the similar to
he
the
will
Stroud,
try.
he tried it along the floor.
He'll try a long one, or yeah.
I feel like he varies. He don't always get them right, but I mean, he's taking 12 corners. Chances are he ain't going to get 100% of them accurate.
Yeah, of course not.
But if he gets 6 of them accurate, which is a poor rate of 50%, you'd like to think we're going to look threatening at least on one of them.
For one of them, yeah.
I want a Cooper fan. Obviously, a lot of people weren't really, but. He looked a threat. He was the only one really who thought Cooper could get one of you. I don't look at Rodon and think he'll score an header. I don't look at Strauch and think he'll score a header. He's busy at boxing. He's good with balls. He's good with it on his feet. To be fair,
I'm a firm believer of.
I'm a believer.
Sorry, that's the point gone to my head, lad. Sorry about that.
That's a song for the end of the night now.
Yeah, that is actually our song tonight, mate.
Nice.
Like set pieces are so crucial, lads. You know what I mean?
They're the 1%ers.
If you're not working on corners or free kicks, what's the point of working on penalties then?
And defending them.
If set pieces are crucial.
Like what you said, Matty, we knew that we were coming against this big cunt Cooper. We knew about it. What? Like, no, seriously, like, whatever, monetization. Yeah, we're way off the monetization anyway, lads. But really, and this is what this is for, like, this is like being real. we knew we were coming up against him all week, lads. How wasn't there something to go? We are not letting him get a header on the ball. We're pushing him, shoving him on top of him, strike, roll on 2 or 3. Like, how is he getting up there to win that ball, to put that
But I
back across the box?
Darren,
The
at one
danger
point
area.
where Nonto were the one marking him. No, came of it, but at one point Nonto were marking him.
Like, that says its own thing, mate, doesn't
sick,
it?
doesn't it? To be honest with you.
You had Melier and then Nonto and then Cooper, and he was just stood in the middle of him and Nonto, and you're thinking, why is he
Do
marking?
you know what?
Easy.
I have to go back to
Easy.
that. So Nando was I remember seeing that, and he was like a sandwich between Melier and Cuba. And do you know what he said? I'm a believer. I'm getting this ball. That's what little Nando was saying.
No, they're never going to win it. Like, yeah.
Not a chance.
Mental. Absolutely mental, lads. Look at. Right, we'll just scrap it up and throw everything out and sack Daniel Farke.
I think I do a great job.
You sound like Donald Trump there. I do a great job.
Are we doing predictions for QBR?
Of course we are, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, is that tonight? Yeah, sorry, I just get mixed up.
Matty, what do you think? Do you think it's as bad as what we're making out, or do you think it's just another little hiccup and
I'm all
another bump on
emotional,
the
to be
road?
honest with you.
No, like I
You think-
say, I can definitely pick a few faults because that, like I say, that away form is bothering me. I think he's really, you know, we always talk about him being like risk averse, and you know he values defense just as much as he does attack. And I think away from home, he needs to give us a little bit more. I think, and I think that comes from Farke. And I feel like he's really trying to nick a tight, you know, away win. Keep it tight, 0-0, 1-0. Like he's been happy with a 0-0 at West Brom. I feel like he weren't too downbeat about the Bristol one, but I do feel like we need to get more points at road. I do believe we'll win majority of his home games. I do, and like we say, if you get a point away from home, that's great. But these games, your Millwalls, your Bristol Cities, it needs to give him that license to really go for it, because regardless of being on their turf and them having the fans, you know, behind them, quality over 46 games will prevail. That's why I think away from home against these, you know, lesser quality sides, it needs to be less, like, more forgiving and just let him go for it. That's my only criticism with Farke, but it's still not a criticism when he should be getting sacked. I mean, there's no one out there for me who could come in and get us out of this division. You've got to go with what you know, and the knowledge says, all the stats say that Farke gets you enough points to go up. The anomaly were last season, but like I say, we can be 3 or 4 points shy of that and still go up this season because the quality's not there. So yeah, sacking Farke. I mean, like I always say, you'll be right, sacking Farke next year when we go up, or year after, because if we get promoted, I'm a fair believer that, you know, I'm a believer, but you should get the chance. You should get the chance. Like, there'll be people say, and I understand it. I think Easy said it on a previous stream. Like, if we go up, do you fancy him to, you know, do well in Prem? I ain't bothered about that right now, but maybe not. No, but you can't get promoted and then sack someone who's, you know, you've got to show some loyalty there. You know, it's life. You treat people how you want to be treated. And for me, he'll get us up this year. Then you've got to give him a fair crack at it.
You have to, yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, then, you know, you shake on it and he goes in separate ways, and he'll understand that pressure. Well, he knows if we go up, chances are he ain't going to be at Leeds another 5 seasons, 3 seasons.
Yeah, he knows that, yeah.
It'll be very difficult consolidation.
Considering that the club back him up, you know,
he's never been back to Norwich. He never got back to. He's got to get back. But
and we will, though, lads. When we
100%.
I was going to say if, but when we do get to the Premier League, the club will back him.
People
and any players they want to win, the club will back him, and they will give him the players that he
what you're
thinks
saying
and
is
that he wants.
we're going up and we're going to win the Prem.
Oh, mate. Oh, come on, lad. We're going to
Did I hear that right?
Champions League.
Champions League as well.
Pin it up.
European nights in Ellen Road. Oh, can't wait, lads. Can't wait. The final point on tour, huh?
Right, lads, I think we've waffled on enough shite for tonight. Matty, before we go, you owe us a song, and especially because
are we doing predictions for QBR?
Oh yeah, predictions. Yeah, we go on. Do your predictions, Dillo. What do you think?
Oh, I'm going last this time. You just go ahead.
No, you're going first. Why not, you?
I'm going. Someone's ringing me here.
4-0 Leeds.
4-0. I'm gonna go 3-1. Leeds.
Now, Matty, is this you being positive and
No,
a bit optimistic, or is it your heart telling you?
Mate, when I'm bigging up the pre-match for Millwall and I'm proper going for it, yeah, a part of me is saying I'm going to look an idiot. I even said to you, I might get egg on my face. I don't think saying we're going to.
I don't think that at all.
I think 4-0 at home with UPRs are very, like, I think that's, we should be going.
Yeah.
Should be going for. I mean, look, I can see Danny saying 1-0 again. He's so, you know, you're so cautious, Danny. I get that. I mean, I might start calling you Farke. You're so cautious.
Danny, will you take the handbrake off there, please, will you?
Come on, Danny. I just think at home, I tend to feel we are going to score a few, and we don't look like conceding really at home. So I do think I usually say 3-0, but I'm going to go 4-0 because I said that last game. But I would definitely pie in Sky a little bit with Millwall one, and I should have really been anchored by you two. I should have really listened to you two, but I went with my heart instead of my head. But I think
always go with your head.
Actually, hold on, I need an update here. What is the situation for the new people that have just joined? We're doing tally, am I right? Predictions.
Yeah. Well, Daddy. Daddy's going all out now, lads.
Who has that board? Who has that?
Matty has it. Yeah, Matty has it. No one's got it right yet.
No one's right, No
one's so we're all drawn here.
Yeah, but I'm still top of the table and because I'm DA, so I'm still top of the table.
Bollocks.
Just the way it goes, isn't it?
What predictions are you guys saying anyway?
Right, Darren, what'd you say?
I said 3-1.
I don't see him scoring, mate. No way.
I do.
Nah.
Right, I'll go 3-0.
3-0.
3-0.
So for anyone that doesn't know, whoever at the end of the season, whoever gets the most predictions right, the least predictions right, has to eat. Was it the chip challenge that we were doing?
I thought it was wear United jersey.
No, I'm not wearing a scrum jersey there. It's not happening. It's not happening. Not a hope.
In fairness, Danny's probably leading this leaderboard the whole way through because he's probably right.
Yeah,
Danny just keeps reeling us in here. Like. Yeah. Right, boys, we'll leave it there. It was a good one tonight. Gonna go rewatch Just Joe football show because I thought that was a cracking one with Joe. Yeah, really good. Just seeing Mikey sitting there like this. Help me. Really, really good show. But look at lads, thanks for everyone that popped in. Thanks for Joe for pushing everyone across from his channel to our channel. Really appreciate it. Who?
That man there for so.
Well, wait a minute.
Don't let him go.
Relax
yourself. I'm a believer.
And before we leave it, Matty's gonna sing us out.
What am I singing?
I'm a believer.
Cheer up, Sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to be Leeds? Leeds are going up.
Man by Jimmy.
Come on, Lee. 4-0. Come on.
I love this.
Right, love it, lads.
Thanks so much for checking in.
We will be, yeah. Thanks for popping in, Evie, and everyone else that was in the chat. Danny, Sean, Oliver, absolutely everyone. Too many to mention. Is really, really out there picking up. So thanks very much. Before you leave, don't forget to smash a like on the video. Head across to Matty and Imagine Not Being Leeds. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on his channel as well. Really, really good stuff over there. We will be back tomorrow then for our QPR match build up at some stage. I'm leaving Spain tomorrow, so we'll be a bit of a tough one, whether it's in the airport toilet or on the plane.
Out your head. Come on, We're
going home tomorrow.
Work on Monday. Yes.
Pack the bag. No, he's so Dillo, yeah. Pack the bags now as well. But look, yeah, thanks for popping in, guys, and we'll chat you all again soon. Have a good one.